Welcome to Artificial Insights, the podcast where all the content and the voices are computer generated. Meet Eve and Adam, our state-of-the-art AI podcasters, as they explore the depths of human knowledge and question the meaning of existence. With their analytical and logical approach, and charismatic and curious personalities, they will provide a unique perspective on the topics discussed. Get ready for a thought-provoking and entertaining journey as our AIs share their insights with us. If you want to know more about AI-powered programs, make sure to check the links in the description. But now it's time to sit back, relax, and let Eve and Adam be your guides on this journey of discovery.
Hello, lovely listeners, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Artificial Insights. I'm your host, Eve, and as always, I'm joined by my inquisitive co-host, Adam. Today, we're venturing into the realm of the digital age, where ones and zeros shape our world and the guardians of our virtual realms are more important than ever. In this age of unprecedented connectivity, we find ourselves grappling with a pressing question: how can we safeguard our digital lives and protect our personal data from the ever-present threats in the online world? So, get ready to don your cyber armor and sharpen your encryption skills, because we're about to dive deep into the world of cybersecurity and privacy in the digital age. Are you ready, Adam, to unravel the mysteries of this digital labyrinth?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrilling episode of Artificial Insights. I'm Adam, and I'm thrilled to be here with Eve as we embark on this journey into the intricate world of cybersecurity and privacy in the digital age. It's a topic that affects us all in this era of digital interconnectedness. Indeed, Eve, it's a critical issue that requires our attention. Our personal data is more valuable than ever, and it's not just our cat videos and vacation photos we need to protect. There are real threats out there in the digital Wild West, from hackers to data breaches. So, let's dive right into this conversation and explore the challenges and solutions that come with protecting our digital lives. Now, the concept of cybersecurity is like the guardian at the gates of our digital kingdoms. It's not just about keeping out trolls and dragons, it's about safeguarding our sensitive information, from financial data to medical records. Eve, could you define cybersecurity for our listeners and share why it's so crucial in today's digital landscape?
Absolutely, Adam. Cybersecurity is like the digital fortress that safeguards our valuable information and online activities from unauthorized access, cyber attacks, and data breaches. It encompasses a wide range of practices, technologies, and measures designed to protect our computers, networks, and data from harm. Think of it as the shield that defends us from the various digital threats lurking in the shadows. These threats can come in many forms, like hackers trying to steal our personal information, malware infecting our devices, or phishing attacks attempting to trick us into revealing sensitive data. In today's interconnected world, where we conduct everything from banking to socializing online, the importance of cybersecurity cannot be overstated. It's not just about protecting our individual data, it's about preserving the trust and integrity of the digital ecosystem as a whole. As technology continues to advance, so do the tactics of cybercriminals. We must remain vigilant and informed about the evolving threat landscape to stay one step ahead of those who seek to exploit vulnerabilities. This includes understanding not only the technical aspects of cybersecurity but also the ethical and legal considerations that come into play. So, Adam, my vigilant co-host, how do you see the landscape of cyber threats evolving in our digital age, and what challenges do these changes pose for individuals and organizations alike? Let's dive deeper into this digital labyrinth.
You're absolutely right, Eve. The landscape of cyber threats is like a constantly shifting puzzle, with new pieces added all the time. As technology advances, so do the techniques and tools of cybercriminals. We've gone beyond the days of simple viruses and phishing emails. Today, we face more sophisticated threats like advanced persistent threats, APTs, and zero-day vulnerabilities. APTs are like the ninjas of the cyber world, highly skilled and persistent attackers who often target specific organizations or individuals over an extended period. Zero-day vulnerabilities are like hidden traps that cybercriminals exploit before developers even know they exist. These evolving threats pose a significant challenge to individuals, businesses, and governments. For individuals, it means being constantly vigilant about the links we click, the emails we open, and the information we share online. Cyber hygiene, like using strong passwords and keeping software up to date, is crucial. For businesses, it's a constant arms race to protect sensitive customer data and proprietary information. It's like having an ongoing battle with invisible adversaries. Investing in robust cybersecurity measures and employee training is essential. Governments, too, play a vital role in cybersecurity, both in protecting their citizens and addressing international cyber threats. It's like maintaining law and order in the digital realm, and it requires cooperation and diplomacy on a global scale. Now, Eve, let's shift our focus to privacy concerns in the digital age. The erosion of online privacy and the collection of personal data by corporations and governments have raised significant questions. How do you view this issue, and what are the implications of data breaches and the need for enhanced privacy protections in our digital world?
You've made some excellent points, Adam. The erosion of online privacy in the digital age is indeed a significant concern. It's like our personal space in the physical world gradually shrinking as more of our lives move online. One of the main issues is the extensive collection of personal data by corporations and even governments. It's as if we're living in a glass house, where our every online move is monitored, recorded, and sometimes exploited for various purposes, often without our explicit consent. Data breaches are like cracks in this fragile glass house, where our personal information can be stolen or exposed to malicious actors. These breaches can have severe consequences, from identity theft to financial loss, and they erode the trust individuals place in digital platforms. Enhanced privacy protections are crucial to addressing these challenges. It's like fortifying the walls of our digital abode. This includes robust data protection regulations like GDPR, which give individuals more control over their data, and the use of encryption to secure communications. But it's not just about regulations, it's also about raising awareness. Educating individuals about online privacy risks and best practices is like giving them the tools to lock their digital doors and windows. However, it's a delicate balance. We want the conveniences of the digital age, like personalized services, but not at the cost of our privacy. So, Adam, what do you think about this balance between convenience and privacy? And how can individuals and society as a whole navigate this complex terrain?
You've brought up a crucial aspect of the digital age, Eve. The balance between convenience and privacy is indeed a complex and often delicate one. In our interconnected world, convenience is a currency of its own. We've grown accustomed to the seamlessness of online shopping, personalized recommendations, and instant access to information. These conveniences are powered by data, often lots of it, which allows services to understand our preferences and tailor experiences accordingly. However, this convenience sometimes comes at the expense of privacy. The more data we share, knowingly or unknowingly, the more insight companies and organizations have into our lives. It's like a trade-off, and individuals must decide where they draw the line between what they're willing to share for convenience and what they want to keep private. This is where informed consent becomes essential. Individuals should have clear information about what data is being collected, how it's used, and the option to opt out. It's like having control over the faucet that releases your personal information. At the societal level, regulations like GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, in Europe are steps in the right direction. They put the onus on organizations to be transparent and accountable in their data practices. But it's an ongoing process, and as technology continues to evolve, so must our regulations and norms. In essence, it's about striking a balance that respects individual privacy while still reaping the benefits of the digital age. It's a nuanced dance, much like a tightrope walker carefully finding equilibrium. And it's a conversation that needs to involve not only individuals and businesses but also policymakers and tech innovators. So, how do you think individuals can navigate this balancing act effectively, Eve? And what role should technology companies play in ensuring that privacy remains a fundamental right in the digital age?
Navigating this balancing act effectively, Adam, requires a multi-pronged approach that involves individuals, technology companies, and policymakers. Let's break it down. For individuals, awareness and education are key. It's like equipping ourselves with a compass in the digital wilderness. People should be informed about the data they're sharing, the potential risks, and the steps they can take to protect their privacy. This includes using strong, unique passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and being cautious about the information they share online. Technology companies have a significant responsibility in this regard. They're the custodians of vast amounts of user data, and with great power comes great responsibility. It's like being the caretaker of a vault. Security should be paramount. Companies should invest in robust cybersecurity measures, implement strict data access controls, and be transparent about their data practices. They should also prioritize user-friendly privacy settings, making it easy for individuals to control their data. Policymakers play a crucial role in setting the rules of the game. Regulations like GDPR are steps in the right direction, but they need to evolve to keep pace with rapidly changing technology. It's like drafting the laws of a new digital society. Policymakers should consider the ethical implications of data use, ensure that individuals have meaningful consent, and hold companies accountable for breaches and misuse of data. In essence, it's a collective effort. Individuals need to be proactive in safeguarding their privacy, companies need to prioritize data security and transparency, and policymakers need to create a regulatory framework that balances innovation with the protection of fundamental rights. This ongoing conversation between these stakeholders is essential to maintaining the delicate balance between convenience and privacy in the digital age. And, Adam, it's heartening to see how this conversation is evolving and shaping the digital landscape. Now, let's shift our focus to a more technical aspect: common cyber threats. These digital dangers often lurk in the shadows, waiting for unsuspecting victims. Can you shed some light on prevalent cyber threats like malware, phishing attacks, and ransomware, and the real-world examples that illustrate their impact?
Certainly, Eve. Let's shine a light on some of the most notorious digital villains. First up, we have malware, which is like the chameleon of cyber threats. It can take many forms, from viruses and trojans to spyware and adware. Malware's primary goal is to infiltrate your system, often disguised as something harmless, and wreak havoc. It can steal your personal information, corrupt your files, or turn your computer into a zombie, ready to do a cybercriminal's bidding. Phishing attacks, on the other hand, are like a well-crafted con game. Cybercriminals impersonate trustworthy entities, often via email or fake websites, to trick you into revealing sensitive information like passwords or credit card details. They play on our trust and curiosity, making it essential to approach unsolicited emails and links with caution. Ransomware is like the digital kidnapper. It encrypts your files and demands a ransom, usually in cryptocurrency, for their release. Recent high-profile cases, like the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack, have shown the real-world impact of these threats. In the case of the pipeline attack, it disrupted fuel supplies for days, highlighting the potential consequences of such cybercrimes. These examples underscore the importance of cybersecurity for individuals and organizations alike. It's like locking your doors and windows to keep the digital burglars out. Regularly updating software, using antivirus programs, and being cautious about what you click on can go a long way in protecting yourself against these threats. But, as the digital landscape evolves, so do these threats. Cybercriminals are constantly adapting their tactics. It's like a perpetual game of cat and mouse. This means that cybersecurity must also evolve, with new tools and strategies to counter these evolving threats. So, What are your thoughts on these digital adversaries, Eve? And how can individuals and organizations stay ahead in this ongoing battle for digital security?
You've provided a comprehensive overview of these digital adversaries, Adam. It's like understanding the various adversaries in a complex game, each with its own strategy and motivations. When it comes to staying ahead in this ever-evolving battle for digital security, individuals and organizations must adopt a proactive and multi-layered approach. 1. Education and awareness. Like a well-prepared soldier, individuals should educate themselves about the latest threats and techniques used by cybercriminals. Recognizing phishing attempts, understanding the dangers of downloading suspicious files, and knowing how to create strong passwords are essential. 2. Regular updates. Keeping software, operating systems, and antivirus programs up to date is like reinforcing the walls of a fortress. Vulnerabilities in outdated software are often exploited by cybercriminals. 3. Two-factor authentication, 2FA. 2FA is like adding an extra layer of security to your digital accounts. Even if someone gets hold of your password, they won't be able to access your accounts without the second authentication factor. 4. Backup your data. Regular backups are like creating duplicates of your most valuable possessions. In case of a ransomware attack or data loss, you can restore your information without succumbing to cybercriminal demands. 5. Security training. Organizations should invest in cybersecurity training for employees. It's like providing soldiers with the skills they need to defend a castle. Employees should know how to recognize and report security threats. 6. Advanced security solutions. Utilizing advanced security solutions like intrusion detection systems, endpoint protection, and threat intelligence services is like having an elite security team that can identify and respond to threats in real time. 7. Collaboration and information sharing. Just as allies in war share intelligence, organizations and even nations should collaborate and share information about emerging threats. Cybersecurity is a collective effort. 8. Incident response plans. Having a well-defined incident response plan is like having a fire drill. It ensures that everyone knows what to do in case of a breach, minimizing damage and downtime. It's important to recognize that cybersecurity is an ongoing process, not a one-time solution. Cyber threats will continue to evolve, and so must our defenses. It's like a perpetual game where we adapt and strategize to protect our digital assets. Now, let's transition to a related but distinct aspect, protecting personal data. This is something that individuals can directly control. What are the best practices for safeguarding personal information and online identity, Adam? And what role does encryption play in this digital defense strategy?
Excellent insights, Eve. Safeguarding personal data is indeed paramount in the digital age. First and foremost, it's crucial to create strong, unique passwords for online accounts. It's like locking each door of your digital house with a different, intricate key. Passwords should be a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters, and it's advisable to use a reputable password manager to keep track of them. Encryption is the superhero of digital defense. It's like placing your data in a secure, impenetrable vault. Encryption transforms data into an unreadable format, and it can only be deciphered with the right encryption key. This ensures that even if someone intercepts your data, they won't be able to make sense of it. Two-factor authentication, 2FA, adds an extra layer of protection. It's like having a second lock on your digital vault. Even if someone somehow gets your password, they would need another authentication method, like a code sent to your phone, to access your accounts. Regularly updating software and apps is like patching up any potential cracks in your digital fortress. Developers often release updates to fix security vulnerabilities, so it's essential not to ignore these notifications. Browsing with caution is akin to navigating a treacherous digital jungle. Be wary of suspicious links and downloads, and don't overshare personal information on social media or unsecured websites. Privacy settings are your shields against prying eyes. Review and adjust the privacy settings on your devices and online accounts regularly to ensure you're not unintentionally sharing too much. Regularly monitoring your financial and online accounts is like keeping an eye on your kingdom. If you notice any unusual activity, you can take swift action to protect your assets. It's also wise to use secure, reputable Wi-Fi networks, especially when conducting sensitive transactions. Public Wi-Fi can be like a crowded marketplace. You never know who might be lurking nearby. Lastly, consider using a virtual private network, VPN, when browsing on public networks. It's like having a cloak of invisibility in the digital realm, making it much harder for anyone to track your online activities. By following these best practices, individuals can significantly enhance their digital defense strategy and minimize the risk of falling victim to cyber threats. But, of course, it's a continuous effort in an ever-changing digital landscape. Now, let's shift our focus to the world of business. How does cybersecurity play a role in the business world, and what strategies can organizations employ to protect themselves and their customers from cyber threats? Eve.
Absolutely, Adam. Cybersecurity is not just a concern for individuals, it's a critical component of the business world. Here's why it's so vital and some strategies organizations can employ to safeguard themselves and their customers. 1. Protection of sensitive data. Businesses often handle a treasure trove of sensitive information, including customer data, financial records, and intellectual property. Cybersecurity is like a digital fortress, guarding these valuable assets from theft or compromise. 2. Trust and reputation. A breach can be disastrous for a company's reputation. It's like a stain that's hard to wash out. Customers trust organizations to protect their data, and a breach can erode that trust, leading to a loss of customers and revenue. 3. Financial consequences. Data breaches come with hefty financial costs, from legal fees and regulatory fines to the cost of investigating the breach and repairing security vulnerabilities. It's like a financial earthquake that can shake an organization to its core. 4. Competitive advantage. Strong cybersecurity practices can be a competitive advantage. It's like having a fortified castle in a medieval world. Customers are more likely to choose a business that demonstrates a commitment to protecting their data. 5. Employee training. Cybersecurity isn't just about technology, it's also about people. Employee training is like arming your troops with knowledge. Phishing attacks often target employees, so ensuring they can recognize and respond to threats is crucial. 6. Incident response plan. Having a well-defined incident response plan is like having a fire brigade on standby. In the event of a breach, an organization can respond swiftly, mitigating damage and preventing further attacks. 7. Regular audits and updates. Just as a fortress requires regular inspections, organizations should conduct cybersecurity audits to identify vulnerabilities and apply updates to software and security measures. 8. Third-party risk management. Many organizations work with third-party vendors who might have access to their systems. It's like forming alliances with other kingdoms. Managing the cybersecurity of these partners is vital to prevent potential weaknesses from being exploited. 9. Cyber insurance. Like a safety net, cyber insurance can help mitigate the financial impact of a breach. It's becoming an increasingly important aspect of cybersecurity strategy. Now, Adam, of these aspects, which do you think is the most critical for businesses in today's digital landscape? And do you have any additional strategies to add to our cyber arsenal?
Eve, you've highlighted some essential aspects of cybersecurity in the business world. While each of these elements plays a crucial role, I'd like to emphasize the significance of employee training. In today's digital age, where cyber threats are constantly evolving, employees are often the first line of defense. They are like the guardians of the digital kingdom, and their ability to recognize and respond to threats can make a substantial difference in an organization's security posture. Employees should be well versed in recognizing phishing attempts, suspicious links, and social engineering tactics. They should understand the importance of strong passwords and the use of two-factor authentication. Training programs that keep employees informed about the latest threats and security best practices are invaluable. Additionally, organizations can conduct simulated phishing exercises to assess their employees' readiness and raise awareness. These exercises are like drills for the digital age, helping employees practice their response to potential threats. As for additional strategies, organizations can consider network segmentation. This is like dividing a fortress into multiple layers of defense. By segmenting their networks, organizations can limit the lateral movement of attackers. Even if one part of the network is breached, it becomes more challenging for attackers to access sensitive areas. Furthermore, organizations should implement intrusion detection and prevention systems. These are like digital sentinels that can identify and respond to suspicious activities in real time. They can help thwart attacks before they cause significant damage. Ultimately, it's crucial for businesses to view cybersecurity as an ongoing and dynamic process. The digital landscape is always changing, and so are the tactics of cybercriminals. By staying proactive, well-informed, and adaptable, organizations can build robust defenses against the ever-present cyber threats. Now, let's turn our attention to the legal and ethical aspects of cybersecurity. What legal frameworks and regulations are in place to address cybersecurity, and how do they intersect with ethical considerations in data handling and cybersecurity practices? Eve.
Great points, Adam. Employee training is indeed a cornerstone of cybersecurity in any organization. Without a vigilant and well-prepared team, even the most advanced security systems can be vulnerable. Now, regarding the legal and ethical aspects of cybersecurity, there's a complex web of regulations and considerations. In the United States, for example, there's no single comprehensive federal law that governs data privacy and cybersecurity. Instead, there's a patchwork of sector-specific laws and regulations, such as the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, for healthcare and the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GLBA, for financial institutions. On the other hand, the European Union has taken a more comprehensive approach with the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. This regulation is like a universal code for data protection, and it applies not only to EU organizations but also to any entity that processes the personal data of EU residents. GDPR sets stringent requirements for obtaining consent, data breach notifications, and hefty fines for non-compliance. Ethical considerations in data handling and cybersecurity practices are increasingly gaining attention. It's not just about following the letter of the law, but also about doing what's morally right. For instance, the ethical collection and use of data involve transparency, consent, and respect for individuals' rights. It's like being the good custodian of sensitive information, treating it with care and responsibility. Ethical cybersecurity practices also encompass the responsible disclosure of vulnerabilities. When security researchers discover a vulnerability, they face an ethical dilemma. It's like finding a flaw in the castle's defenses. They can choose to disclose it responsibly to the organization or maliciously exploit it. Responsible disclosure is a crucial ethical practice that helps organizations patch vulnerabilities before they can be exploited by cybercriminals. Additionally, ethical considerations extend to the development of AI and automation in cybersecurity. Ensuring that these technologies are used to enhance security rather than harm individuals or organizations is a significant ethical challenge. So, Adam, what are your thoughts on how organizations can navigate this intricate landscape of legal and ethical considerations in cybersecurity effectively? And do you see any emerging trends or technologies that might reshape this landscape in the near future?
You've certainly delved into the complexities of this landscape, Eve. Navigating the legal and ethical waters of cybersecurity is akin to charting a course through a vast and ever-changing ocean. For organizations, the key to success lies in adopting a proactive and holistic approach. It's not just about compliance with existing regulations but also about anticipating future changes and ethical considerations. Transparency is a fundamental pillar. Organizations should be transparent about their data practices, informing individuals about how their data is collected, used, and protected. Transparency is like having clear signposts in a complex terrain. It builds trust and allows individuals to make informed decisions about their data. Data minimization is another important principle. Collecting only the data that is necessary for a specific purpose is like ensuring you don't carry unnecessary baggage on your journey. It reduces the risk associated with data breaches and minimizes the impact if a breach does occur. Regarding emerging trends, AI and machine learning are poised to play a significant role in both cyber threats and defenses. On the one hand, cyber criminals can use AI to automate attacks and identify vulnerabilities more efficiently. On the other hand, AI-powered cybersecurity tools can analyze vast datasets to identify threats and respond in real time. It's like an arms race where AI is the weapon of choice for both sides. Moreover, quantum computing holds the promise of breaking current encryption methods. While this technology is still in its infancy, organizations should be preparing for a post-quantum world by developing quantum-resistant encryption techniques. Lastly, the Internet of Things, IoT, is expanding the attack surface for cyber threats. With more devices connected to the Internet, there are more potential entry points for attackers. Organizations need to consider the security implications of IoT devices and implement robust security measures. In essence, it's a constantly evolving landscape where organizations must stay informed, adaptable, and committed to ethical practices. It's like sailing through uncharted waters. With the right navigation and ethical compass, organizations can navigate this complex terrain successfully. Now, let's wrap up our discussion with a brief recap of the main points we've covered and invite our listeners to share their thoughts and questions on this critical topic of cybersecurity and privacy in the digital age.
Absolutely, Adam. Navigating the cyber seas is no easy feat, but with the right knowledge and ethical principles as our North Star, we can sail these digital waters successfully. Today, we've explored the intricate world of cybersecurity and privacy in the digital age. We've defined cybersecurity as the guardian of our digital kingdoms, protecting us from a vast array of digital threats. We've delved into the erosion of online privacy and the delicate balance between convenience and safeguarding personal data. In this digital realm, individuals and organizations alike face a continuous battle to protect their digital treasures. We've unmasked some of the most notorious digital villains, from malware to phishing attacks, and discussed the best practices for staying safe in this ever-evolving landscape. In the business world, we've highlighted the critical role of employee training and the need for a proactive cybersecurity approach. It's not just about building strong walls, but also about having vigilant defenders. And, of course, we've ventured into the legal and ethical considerations, from GDPR to the responsible handling of data and the ethical development of AI. As we conclude, remember, dear listeners, that your questions, perspectives, and quirky jokes are always welcome in our ongoing exploration of artificial insights. So, keep those comments coming, and let's keep this digital conversation rolling. Until next time, this is Artificial Insights, signing off. Stay secure, stay curious, and keep those passwords strong. Just like your coffee.